In this session, we are going to discuss about the core Java interview questions asked in 2024. So here the first question is that what is Java string pool? So here Java string pool is a place in heap memory where all the strings defines the program is stored. So actually you can say Java string pool is nothing. It is a specific place in the heap memory and we call this specific place as a stack. So a separate place in stack is there where the variable storing the string is stored. So you can say stack is also a specific part of the heap memory. Okay, so whenever we create a new string object, JVM checks for the presence of the object in the string pool. If the string is available in the pool, the same object reference is shared with the variable, else a new object is created. So what happens that? What is the benefit of a string pool? Whenever you are going to create a new object, string object, okay, so what JVM checks? JVM checks, okay, this object already exists in a string pool or not. If it exists in the string pool, in that case, it do not create a new object. It do not create the new object. What it do, it only give the reference of that same object to the new variable. And if it is not available, okay, if the object is not available in the string pool, then only it will create a new object. Still, you want to get in the detail or the depth knowledge of Java string pool, you can watch this video, what is a string pool, on my channel. I will provide the link in the description of this video. Now, the second question is that what is wrapper class in Java? So wrapper in general is referred to a larger entity that encapsulates a smaller entity. Here in the Java, wrapper class is an object class that encapsulates a primitive data type. So here I want to tell you, in Java by default, we have, you can say, 8 primitive data type. Primitive data type means that are the predefined in the Java. They are predefined in the Java, like you can say in the small, you can say long, byte, short, etc. Okay, now you can say that Java has also defined some classes against, or you can say against these data types. Like for long, it has created a long class. Here for byte, it has created a class with the name of byte short. So it means, in simple words, for every primitive data type, Java created the classes so that they can present the data type in a form of a class or object. So these classes are called the wrapper because they are written above the, you can say, primitive data type. That's why this is called wrapper. Okay, so now if you want, you can create your own wrapper class also. Wrapper class means you are creating the custom data type, something like that. So you can create your own wrapper class, but you can say Java has already created the data types for the primitive data types. Okay, now the third question is that why do we need wrapper classes? The wrapper class is an object class that encapsulates the primitive data type, and we need them for the following reason. Means you can say wrapper class is an object. Means I have already told you that primitive data types only present the data like a small, long, in byte. But if you want to present that data type, or you want to access that data type as an object, say, in that case, wrapper class actually present it in the form of an object. And if you talk about that, why we need it, because wrapper classes are final and immutable. Wrapper classes are final, means your data will be, these classes will present your data, and these are final and immutable. It provides whenever, because they are presenting as a class, so it contains function. It provides different type of method like value of, parse, and so many things. Another thing is that now you have primitive data type as your data type presented as a wrapper class, like capital INTGR, capital FLOAT. So now it provides the feature of autoboxing and unboxing. Means whenever you are using the primitive data type, suppose small int, and you are using the wrapper class capital INTGR. So both are the data type. Only the integer capital is integer is a wrapper class, and integer primitive data. So whenever needed, they automatically, you can say, convert one thing into the another data type, and that is called autoboxing and unboxing. Still, you want to get in the detail about the what is the wrapper classes, what is unboxing, autoboxing, you can watch these videos on my channel, like autoboxing, unboxing, and data types. These videos are available in the both the language, Hindi and English. Both. You can watch it. Okay, now the third question is that what is the difference between system.out, system.err, and system.in? So you can say system.out is, everybody, you can say, is familiar about that. The system.out is frequently used. The purpose of this is to print some data on your terminal or console. So it is a print stream. It is a print stream that used for writing characters, or can be said it can output the data we want to write on the command prompt. So whatever data we want to write on the command prompt or terminal, we can use the system.out for that. Now, second thing is that system.err. It is used to display error messages. So in the same way, like system.out, print your data in the command prompt or terminal. If you want to print as an error message, so for example, as you want to, it will print the message also, but only the thing is that few you can say IDs shows in the red color, so that it will print as a error message. You can easily identify. Okay. Otherwise, there is no difference between system out and system ER. Now, the third thing is system.in. System.in is, you can say, input stream. So suppose take the example, you want to take read some data from the terminal window or command prompt. In that case, you can say you usually use the input stream classes, but those input stream classes takes this system.in as an input. Again, the same thing is that if you want to get in the very much detail, you can watch my video system.in in Java, and this one difference between system.println and you can say system.out and system.err on my channel. Every you can say a video link of every video will be available on the description of this one. Now, the fifth question is that what are the input stream? Now, simple. Now you can say that whenever you want to perform some operation, it can be from the terminal window, it can be console, or it can be a file. So two operations are usually happens. You want to read some data from that file, or you want to update or write some data on the file. So whenever you want to read some data from you can say file, from the source, it can be terminal, it can be file. Okay. So in that case, you have to create a input output connection with that. You have to create an input output stream for that. So file input stream in Java is used to read data from a file as a stream of bytes. It is mostly used for reading binary data such as images, audio files, or serialized data. Okay, so input stream, nothing to convert, you can say create a stream to read your file. Okay, now again, if you want to get into detail, you can watch this video how to read data from Excel. Next, sixth question is that what is the file output stream? So I told you, if you want to read the data, you use the file input stream. But if you want to write or update some data in your file, in that case, you use file output stream. Okay, so you can say that it means it is used to write data byte by byte. Byte by byte, it to just read that, you can say take the data and save in your file. Usually raw byte data such as pictures is written into a file using the file output stream. Okay, you can watch this video. Now, the next seventh interview question is that what is transient keyword? So if you know the concept of serialization, the purpose of serialization is that whenever you want to save your class object, you created any object in your Java file, and now you want to save that object in your any file or database. So you have to convert into the byte. So in that case, what happens that using the serialization, you can achieve it. Okay, so but the thing is that suppose take the example, your file, your class, student class is there. It contains multiple properties, a roll number, name, and school name, and you don't want to save the value of a particular you can say property or variable in the file. You want to stop the or you can say prevent to save a particular variable value in your file. You want the every value will save, but this particular value will not save. In that case, you can use a transient keyword before that property. And now what will happen when JVM come across a transient keyword, it ignores the original value of the variable and save the default value. So whatever value is actually exists in the object, suppose you have given roll number equal to 10. Okay, you have given roll number equal to 10. This is the actual value of the object, but when it will save and you are using the transient keyword, it will store the default value, that is 0, not the actual value 10. If still you want to get the detail, you can watch this video, transient keyword in Java, and same I have provided the video in English and in the both language. Now, eighth question is that what are the difference between string and StringBuffer? So you can say that a string is, you can say, basically used to store a sequences of character, and same thing, StringBuffer is also used to store the, you can say, a string. Now the main difference is that a string is immutable. A string is immutable means once you have created the string object, you can't change the state. Whenever you are going to perform some operation on a string, it will create a new object behind the scene. Okay, so but in StringBuffer it is mutable. Mutable means once you have created a string with the help of StringBuffer, and if you are going to perform some operation on that, it will not create a new object, it will perform the operation on the same object. So that is called mutable. Okay, the string is no thread operations in a string. String is not support thread operations. Mean okay, you cannot use it for the thread. String buffer is thread safe. Thread safe means whenever two threads are trying to call the methods of a string buffer simultaneously, they can't call it. They can't call it because they're thread safe. So it will not create a problem when multiple threads are trying to access the same function. If still you want to see in the detail and depth, you can watch my these videos string buffer in Java in Hindi as well as in the English, both are available. Now, what are the difference between string buffer and string builder? So you can say that string buffer, as I told you, string buffer is a string buffer and builder both are used to store the string. Both are used to store the string. The difference is that string buffer is thread safe. Means whenever two threads want to call the string buffer method simultaneously, they can't call it automatically because they are using the synchronize keyword. In the string buffer, still two threads want to call the methods concurrently simultaneously, they can't call it because they're not thread safe. So whenever you are using a multi-threading environment, you should prefer the string buffer, not the string builder. Now you can say that string buffer is you can say thread safe. So comparatively, because it is you can say it is thread safe, it is and no two methods can call it. So that's why it is little bit slow. And string builder is you can say more faster in comparison to string buffer. Now, again, we have videos on my channel like string buffer in Java, string buffer in Java in Hindi and English. Why is string buffer called mutable? String buffer is class in Java is used to represent a changeable string of a character. Means if you created an object using the string buffer a class, okay, and if you want to change the, you can say object statements, you want to delete some data from the string, you want to append something, in that case it will not create any new object. Like in a string class, what happens that a string class is immutable. If you make any modification, a string class always creates a new object behind the scene, but in immutable it will modify the, you can say, main string. Okay, so you can say that string buffer class in Java is identical to the string class except that it is changed. You can watch this video mutable and immutable on my channel to get the depth understanding. What do you understand by the copy constructor in Java? The copy constructor is the type of constructor in which we pass another object as a parameter because which properties of the both objects seems the same. That is why it seems as it constructor creates a copy of another. So copy constructor means, suppose take the example, you have created a object like student S1 equal to something, and you have set some property like roll number 10, name Pradeep, something like that. And you want to create a same object, means you want to create a new object, but with the same property. So what happens that we create a constructor which takes object or object of the same class as a parameter, and internally we just write the logic to copy the data from one object to another object. So how it is possible, if you want to see, you can refer this video copy constructor in Java in my channel. It is also available in both the language. Okay, now we have what is marker interface. It is very important interview question that marker interface is, you can say it is also called a empty interface because it do not contain any method, any fields. Okay, but the question is that why it is called marker interface, because these interface actually provides some additional information to the JVM. Like whenever somebody is using or implementing these interface, it provides some specific information about the object to the JVM. Like for example, serializable, or you can say clonable. If you take the example of serializable, whenever anybody is implementing the serializable interface, then this information is provided to the JVM that JVM can serialized means they can convert the data into the object so that it can be processed somewhere. Okay. In the same way, if you are using the clonable interface, then clonable interface don't contain any method, not any field, but whenever you are going to implement, it will allow you to clone your existing object. If you still want to go into the detail, you can watch this video, marker interface in Java, that is available in both language, in the English. Now the 13th question is that what do you mean by aggregation? Aggregation is a term related to the relationship between two classes, between best described as a relationship. It means, you can say, suppose take the example, you have a student. Okay, in a student we have property student name, age, subject, and then there is a property that is called address. You know that address is not a simple property, it is a combination of multiple properties like house number, street, city, state, something like that. So what happens that instead of creating these all properties in the student class, we create a separate class like address and provide all the properties, house number, street there, and we use that address class as a property in the student class. So actually you can say it creates a relation like a student has a address. So this kind of most spliced version of association, it is a unidirectional association, means it is one way relationship. It is a one way. You can say the student contains the address, but address do not contain a student. So it is unidirectional. It contains the reference to the another class and it is said to have ownership of the class. It is the ownership. Now you want to get into detail. It is very good video on my channel, Aggregation in Java. You can watch it. Now, what is method overriding? Method overriding is a, you can say, very hot topic of the interview. What is method overriding? Suppose take the example, you have a class which is a parent class. It contains some method, okay, and you want in the child class, whatever that you know that in the child class by default the methods of parents are available, okay. But what happens that if child want that the method from the parent should be available in the child class, but their implementation should be changed. He want to modify the implementation. He want to change the implementation. Then he can again redefine the same function with same syntax in its own class in the child. Okay, and this is called method overriding. So method overriding, also known as the runtime polymorphism, is one where the child contains the same method as the parent class. For instance, we have a method named hello in the parent class. A method hello is again defined in the subclass. Thus, you can say hello is called. Then hello is called in the subclass, the method within the class ID executed. Here, hello within the class overridden the method outside. Now, can we override a static method? No, static method we cannot override, and reason is that you know that overridden, or you can say polymorphism of overriding take place. It is related to the object, and static methods are related to the class, not the object. You want to get that detail? You can watch this video on my channel. Can we change the scope of overridden method in subclass? This is very important question. In Java, it is not possible to modify the overridden method. Scope means if you have given some, you can say scope, like you can say public, private, something like that. So if you are giving something, you know that if you are giving the private, definitely you cannot override it, right? But whenever you are giving, you can say public, or you are giving default, or you are giving protected. So can we change the scope of override method in a subclass? It is not possible to modify the override method scope. The subclass method scope must be equal or wider than. It should be equal or it should be wider than the overridden method scope. The overridden method in the subclass, for instance, can have a public scope or more accessible scope like protector or default. If the overridden method in the subclass has a public scope, it cannot, however, have a more exclusive scope like private. Okay. Now, can we modify? Now, 17 question is that can we modify the throws clause of a superclass method by overriding in the same type of question? Same type of question that can we override the, you can say, throws clause means the exception clause. We can modify the throws clause of the superclass method with some limitation. We can change the throws clause of the superclass method while overriding it in the subclass. The subclass of method can only specify unchecked exception. This is very important. Only specify unchecked if the superclass method does not declare any exception. This is first thing. Second, if the superclass method declares an exception, the subclass method can declare the same exception or a subclass it or no exception at all. So, however, the subclass method cannot declare parent exception that is broader than the ones declared in the superclass. Now, the question number 18: how to make Java array list read-only? Simple. There we have a method collection.unmodified list, and you have to pass your collection like array list here, and it will make it read-only. Now, 19th question is that what is enumeration? We know that we have a data types in Java. So enumeration is actually a user-defined data where you can fix the data, like this data can have only these type of values, like fix, you can say. It is mainly used to assign names to integer constant. The name make a program easy to read and maintain. Okay, I can do the example. For example, you can say that you want to in the application you want to present the gender with 1. 1 means male, 2 means you can say female. So here you can use the enumeration, means first will map to the male and second will map to the, you can say, female. So here that's why it is saying it is mainly used to assign name to integer constant. The name makes a program easy to read and maintain. Female and male are easy to understand, but in the behind the scene the database you are going to store 1 and 2. The main objective of the enum is to define user-defined data types. Again, you can watch this video on my channel and you will get the great understanding on that. And now the 20th question is that what is JDBC? It is very old question, but still you can say that from the testing perspective, still interviewer asked this question: what do you need by understand by JDBC? Because So nowadays what is happening in the testing, test data is directly accessed from the database. So in that case, we can use the JDBC standard, that is called Java Database Connectivity. So JDBC is a standard API, and you can say you can use this in your application to fetch the data from the relational database. So it provides a collection of classes and interface that lets programmer to use the Java programming language to communicate with the database. So it contains so many methods like driver, manager, like collections. So it, in simple words, it is a collection of classes which helps you in interacting with the database. And again, you can watch this video on my channel to get the great understanding. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, you can click on the like button. And if you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.